Hello and welcome. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and welcome to today's podcast. I am an author, speaker, seminar leader, mother, gardener, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I just love doing. However, on this show, I talk about how to expand your world of thought, explore the world of positive thinking, Bible based law of attraction, and consciousness from many points of view. I intend to share with you information that will enlighten and empower you in your life. I'm here to encourage you to think in the positive and show that miracles can happen because I truly believe you have been given the power of the word and thought to create the life that you desire. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Dallas area, and it's nice. It's 77 degrees on this ninth day of November. Hopefully I'll get this uploaded by the end of the day. So, as I was going through this weekend and thinking about what I wanted to talk about, I looked at a number of things from Neville Goddard and, you know, the manifesting book, but a conversation, again, always led me to the topic for today because I believe that it is vital during this time. Many people have been laid off from their jobs or the businesses have closed and they're trying to find a way to earn a living and find a position that they really want to do. Some have taken the opportunity to explore their own businesses, becoming entrepreneurs. There's a lot of things that people are looking to do. So when I'm doing the Think and Grow Rich masterclass, we get to this particular chapter, and this particular chapter takes 2 sessions. It's not just one, it is 2 sessions because it has a ton of information in it. It has a ton of things that we need to look at. I mean, there have been times where we almost went to a third session with it because it's just so intense. And that chapter is chapter 7. And so, but today's part of chapter 7, I am going to be looking at is the area about finding your ideal job. How the title under which in the book is how to get the exact position you desire. Some of us just, okay, I got to get this job. This one's available. I'm just going to apply for every job that's out there. And, I'm just going to put in applications. And we've done that for years. I've done that in the past. And just put in application, not really thinking about the position. Thankfully, many years ago, when I did that, I wound up in a job that I actually loved and grew within that organization. But today there are so many organizations and there's startups and there's, old established companies and there's, ways of creating your own business that sometimes we need to step back and look at what has been proven to work for many people. In fact, I have a colleague who has a business of helping people find and secure their ideal job. Okay? Their ideal position. And she uses the information here a lot. I not used her services for finding a job, but I've used her services for other things. But looking at this, I want to share with you what Napoleon Hill said in his 1937 blockbuster book, Think and Grow Rich, the 7 steps to your ideal job, or how to get the exact position you desire. Now, some people will say, but that was in 1937. But let me tell you, going over these 7 steps, um, they work and they are still vital for today. They are still relevant for finding what you want today. We just update them because back then they didn't have an internet. They didn't have cell phones, right? In fact, most people didn't have a phone, or if they had a phone, it was a party line. They had to use shoe leather going from place to place. They put ads in newspapers. Well, today we have Craigslist and Marketplace on Facebook, and there's a lot of things that we can incorporate into today. There's a lot of things that we have available to us today that you didn't have then. So just think about those things as I go through these 7 steps. So, everyone has a desire for some type of position. They have some type of dream. Everyone wants to earn a living in the manner that they desire. A doctor wants to heal and help people. An artist, will use the tools that they have. I'm a quilter. And when I create quilts, it's using my artistic talents with fabric and thread. If I am a woodworker or a carpenter, that is a talent. And they're using wood and nails and paint and, plaster or whatever. But you have something that you love and you enjoy. And so we have a full range of occupations that we can use. I've seen people, and I've done this at home myself. I've grown microgreens, and microgreens are, taking the seeds and growing them to a certain point. But instead of growing 4 or 5 seeds and then letting the broccoli plant go into a full broccoli, I plant 100 seeds. Well, for me, because I'm only doing it for me, 100 to 150 seeds, and I let them grow in a narrow space, and then they grow up and they become microgreens, and they have absolutely a huge amount of nourishment in them. People are creating microgreens. People are doing hydroponics and growing vegetables to be sold at the farmer's market, or their whole backyard has become a food forest, and they feed their families, but they offer food and they sell their extras to other people. There's a ton of thing. I have a friend who helps people with marketing in this day and age, but not marketing for people who are selling online, but marketing for people who have brick and mortar stores. There's lots of professions out there. And so these 7 steps are going to help you come to an idea of what you are and what you can offer. So the very first step, number 1, is to decide exactly what kind of job you want. So what do you want to be when you grow up? What is your desire? I met another woman who wanted to work in a veterinarian office. She didn't want to be a vet, but she wanted to work in the office and be an assistant, a vet's assistant. And so she did the things that were necessary to get that job. And she went and did it. She got the job. But unfortunately, once she got there and she was doing it, she found that she didn't love it. It wasn't really what she loves animals, but that wasn't the job she desired. So she pivoted back and started looking again at what she really loved. And in the meantime, she's working a job that she likes but not really loves. But she's doing that until she really defines what it is that she wants to be and that ideal position that she wants. And if she finds that that ideal job, that thing she wants to look at, or you do that, if that job doesn't already exist, then you can create it. You can find a need in a company, and we're going to talk about that too. You can find a need in that company, find your qualities, and help create that job. I had the friend I talked about that helps people do that. She did that in a company she was in. She found a need, she found a hole where they were lacking, and she created her own job within that company. So you can do the same thing. But number one, decide exactly what kind of job you want. Number two, choose a company or individual for whom you would wish to go to work for. So you want to work for CNN, okay? So you want to do that. So CNN, or you want to work for Warren Buffett, or you want to work, as the one girl did, the veterinarian office, or a doctor's office, or wherever it is, for a carpentry company or a plumbing company, whatever it is, you choose that company. That's number two. So, what do you think number three is going to be? Hmm? Yeah, study them. Study that prospective employer. Find out what their policies are. How do they treat their employees? What is their culture? You know, are there, once you get in there, is there a way for you to advance, to get promotions, to move? Do they train their employees? Do they, what kind of perks do they get? Find out everything that you can about that employer. Now, it might be after you do your research, you go, nah, I don't want to work for them. Then you'd have to choose someone else. Or, as the one lady, she got there and she found out, well, I don't particularly like this. And so she made the change. So what about you? You know, what is it that you want to do? Who is it that you want to work for? And now go through and do your research. And now in this day and age, it's easier, right? You got the internet. You can Google them. You can go to their company page, right? And find out more about them. You can research them and find out, okay, if you happen to meet somebody that works for them, and find out about the business and the company. Okay? You want to do your homework. And the fourth thing that you want to do is analyze yourself. We got the first three, which is dealing with the company, but then you got to look at yourself, right? What are your talents and capabilities in this day and age, even back then too, and all through this capitalist system, you still had to determine what was it that you can offer. So many of us go into a job interview and say, "What you got? How much you going to pay me? What kind of hours you going to do? So what's your jobs?" And I'm not saying you, just a habit. But people will go in and act like I'm doing you a favor by coming here and interviewing with your company. And that's not it today. There's tons of competition. I mean, there are some jobs where thousands of people apply, and they can just throw out a whole bunch of things. If you don't have this, okay, throw that away, throw this away. And unfortunately, even when they have all those people, they may wind up with candidates who aren't the greatest because all they're doing is looking the resumes and throwing people out. So analyze yourself, analyze your talents and your capabilities. What can you offer this company that you've researched? What are the things that make you someone that they will honor and hire and say, this person is good for us? What kind of services can you offer? What kind of training does you offer? What kind of things can you do for the company? Not what can the company do for you. You want to know that, and you want to know what they're offering. But when you're out looking for work, you have to be so detailed in what you can offer that they go, I gotta hire you. Or you come in with an idea. Now, sometimes you come in with an idea and they take that idea, but they don't hire you. You don't want to work for that company. Anyway, there are some companies that bring people in and they ask them for their ideas. So if this was that was going on, if we had a problem with our, let's say, the trains and the train schedule, or logistics, whatever it was, and they give you a scenario and say, okay, what would you do in this situation? These days, my first question would be, are you having this situation now and you're asking for my free advice? Or are you really, or do you have this situation, you've already resolved it, but you want to know what I would do with that resolution? And the reason that I'm asking you that is that I have been in interviews where this has happened, and then they took what I said and implemented it in their company, and I received no compensation for it. You can raise that. And they may feel insulted, but you go, don't feel insulted. I was insulted. I was hurt. I was used for my capabilities and my ideas. Now, if you want to bring me in on a temporary basis, give me a week, pay me for my ideas, pay me for my time, I will give you that. But here's a little piece of how I would start the research on how I would resolve that problem. And you can give them the beginning. I say it like that because so many online people give away their knowledge. They give away so much information. And they give away so much that people can be successful just by implementing those few things that they gave them for free. But their hope is that you say, oh, this is such good information, you're going to come back and you're going to hire them, or you're going to take their seminar, right? I mean, I'm here giving free information about some section of the book, but this is in the book. You can read it. There's even more to this as I teach in the class. So you're going to offer and tell them why you can be a good choice for them by having this full analysis of yourself and your talents. And chapter 7 gives you a lot of questions and things that will help you do that. The fifth item, all right, so first, decide the kind of job. Second, the company. Third, research. Fourth, analyze yourself. And fifth, which is counterintuitive, forget about a job. Forget whether or not there's an opening in that company. That's, everybody goes, do you have any openings today? Nah, right? Concentrate on what you can give. Again, continue. What is it that you can give? Sixth, once you have a plan in mind, okay, arrange with a writer, or if you're a really good writer, put down your information in full detail. All right. So let's say, like my friend who created her own job, she did detail what was missing, what was the hole. Then she said, this is what I believe the position could be that will help our company move forward and help us bring in more business. But she didn't detail what she would do. She just detailed the whole, detailed the job description and what it would do, and that she was uniquely qualified to do that because of her experience here and her experience there. But she never wrote down exactly how she would do the job because she wanted to show that she was the person for the job and not for them to take that job and give it to someone else. Okay? And they honored her. They knew her work and they knew what she did. Seventh, present it to the proper person with authority and he will do the rest. Okay, so what he's saying is you don't give it to HR and say, will you give this to the head of marketing? You find a way to get a hold of the head of marketing and, go in there and talk to them. All right. Every company is looking for a person that will give them something of value. They don't want to just pay you for showing up. And some people act like that's what they're supposed to do. No, they don't want to do that. So you want to be someone of value. And like my friend, they created the job and gave her a job. Now, let's look at this again. 1, decide what kind of job you want. 2, choose the company. 3, study that company. 4, analyze yourself. 5, forget about the job and forget about that. Concentrate on what you can give. And then 6, once you have your plan in mind, arrange for an experienced person or you to write out your plan. And 7, present it to the proper person with authority. All right, so that it gets to the right person. Because sometimes you bring it in there and say, give it to so-and-so, and it just sits on a desk. Never shows up. And this may take a while. It may take days. It may take weeks. But it will make a difference in your income. It will make a difference in your ability to advance. It will make a difference in recognition. So think about those 7 steps and how they work for you. Well, I want to thank you for listening, and be sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on podcast stations, please give a good review and set up to follow me, or find me on YouTube at the Beverly Fells Jones and join me there. Also, if you want information about when I'm going to offer the Think and Grow Rich Masterclass, just go to my Eventbrite page, and you can get there by doing tinyurl.com. So that's tiny as in little, tinyurl.com/Think Rich 2019. Thank you for listening today. Please share the link to this show with your friends and family so that they can learn how to be the best that they can be. Visit my website at commandingyourlife.com and follow me on Facebook. Have any suggestions for the show? Just contact me by emailing Beverly at commandingyourlife.com. Be sure to join me on the next episode. As you have believed, let it be done to you, and it is so.